Thank you very much. Welcome back to this show. Well, as you probably got to know by now, most of the people on this program have music as the motivating factor in their life. Lots of different people, lots of different types of music. The Daily Telegraph's Young Jazz Musician of the Year is a lad called Osian. He's a saxophonist. I caught up with him at his parents' house in Cardiff. I'm not quite sure what's going on there, Osian. Who's that?
Courtney Pine.
Courtney Pine. And it's the piece called, I think I've got the CD here, it's called A Ragamuffin in His Land. So I'll turn it off, I can't quite handle what's going on there. That's sort of bebop, is it?
Oh, no, that's free jazz.
Free jazz. Yeah. Well, nobody paid to go in here, I suppose. I still haven't quite got a handle on this because, a lot of people seem to think of jazz as being four people playing at the same time, but playing four entirely different tunes.
Yeah.
But having said that, I've actually got into it a bit more and can understand the skill involved. But sometimes that actually seems to have gone off the edge. But you could enjoy that.
Well, I don't particularly enjoy it, but it depends what mood I'm in, really. But I think free jazz is taking it a bit far, really.
Because I'm looking through your CD collection here, and there's not a Take That or a Michael Jackson. Amongst it, there's Miles Davis, there's Herbie Hancock. Which is all quite heavyweight stuff, isn't it? I mean, how did you get into it in the first place?
Well, I heard some big band music on the radio, and it really, came across really well. And I had some money at the time, so I got some money together and bought a saxophone.
Oh, that's to listen to Watch With Mother Jesus, is it?
Yeah.
Time to go home. Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, so it all works, and anything's acceptable in jazz these days.
Yeah. That's a great thing about it, really, because you can take any influences you like and, fuse rock with jazz. And there's lots of blues in jazz, obviously, and things like that.
Because the thing is, something like Ornette Coleman now, to most people he doesn't mean a thing, but if you're a jazzer, he's like a god, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, lots of people say that jazz is a musician's music because most of the people you'll see in a jazz gig, in a club somewhere, will probably be musicians, but it's not entirely true, the fact that it is a musician's music, because lots of non-musicians get something really heavy out of listening to it, which I think is very good.
All right, well, the proof of the pudding's in eating. Fancy a bit of a bash?
Yeah, okay.
Here we go. Osian. It was supposed to be just the two of us playing, but his friend, the bass player and guitarist, turned up, so we roped them in as well. And my next guest of the evening has influenced a whole generation of singers, songwriters and bands to come out of Ireland. Will you please welcome Mr. Christy Moore. Thank you.
I met a woman in the town where I was walking. We both sat down together beneath the yellow firs. She closed her eyes and started singing a song about the light that shines and the wonders of the world. She sang of the forest on the high, high mountain, the pure, clear water and the fresh air we breathe, of the bounty we gain from nature's abundance, how the mighty oak tree grows from a little seed. She had an everlasting notion. The wise and holy woman had a never-ending dream. As she called out to the stars, listening on the ocean, shine your light, please shine a light on me. She sang a song from the streets of San Paulo, but the homeless street children who never learned to smile. She sang of the shrine that built to Chico Mendes, where the plantation workers laid his body in the soil. She sang of the greed we display before our altars, and the oil-soaked cormorants drowning in the tide. She sang of the halting sight out beyond Clondalkin, where Anne Mahon froze to death between the dump and the railway line. She had an everlasting notion. The wise and holy woman had a never-ending dream. As she called out to the stars, listening on the ocean, shine your light, please shine your light on me. She sang of the eagle flying high above the island, and the otter that swam through the rivers and the streams, of the lilies that bloomed and the countless wild flowers, and the rainbow that rose in the valley of tears. Thank you very much.
Thank you more.
Paulius,
Yes.
good to see you, man.
That's great. What's the song called?
It's called Yellow Furs Woman.
And what's that mean?
Well, Yellow Furs is a tiny little village in County Meath in Ireland. My mother came from there. So I suppose it's a song about my mother.
Because I was just thinking back now, what sort of music would you have listened to when you were growing up? Would it have been Irish traditional music?
Well, in the early days, I listened to the music in the house, which was the music my mother sang and played. And then at about 9 or 10 or 11, I became aware of music on the radio, or the wireless as we called it then.
Yeah.
Buddy Holly, Elvis Presley. I remember being really into Ella Fitzgerald for a while and trying to sing like Ella Fitzgerald.
It doesn't come through now, does it?
The Ella Fitzgerald bit?
No.
Oh, well, I'm wearing black.
So when did it, I mean, was there like a road to Damascus experience where you suddenly realized you could not be like anybody else but just be yourself and be totally Irish?
In 1961, I went to a flat Ceol down in County Wexford, and I heard the Clancy brothers playing on the street. 3 guys just playing guitars and singing songs. And I suddenly realized that Ireland was full of rock and roll.
Yeah.
And I got into that, and that was my turning point.
Because it's changed now, hasn't it? I mean, Ireland has got so many big bands coming out of the place. It seems to be alive with music. It's down to people like you, I suppose, having the courage of the convictions to actually say, we're not going to do what everybody else says, we're going to do our own thing.
Yeah. Well, I think the big problem in Ireland now is actually finding a pub with no music.
Really? Well, the other thing is, I was just listening to a lot of albums of yours as the weeks come out, and you bare your soul, don't you? It's a very, I don't know, it's like the inside of you comes out through the songs, and I was wondering, is that dangerous? Because of all your different experiences, you know, you've had different problems, haven't you? You know, down the years, as we all have.
Yeah.
You don't sort of hide them away. You put them into a song and tell the whole world. Is that healthy?
Well, I think it is for me anyway. I mean, it seems I haven't had any great problems as a result of it, and I like to kind of go out to the edge when I'm performing. For me, my live performances are my life in many ways. After my family, my wife and children, I've got my music, and the most important thing in my music is my live performances. And I like to go out to the edge. I like to actually embrace the audience.
Because you've had to play, you know, in that sort of experience coming up and being accepted all around the world now, and particularly you play big halls here, St. David's Hall in Carlisle, that type of venue, you must have played some awful places in your time.
I did, and maybe I will play them all again someday, and that's okay too. I mean, I take it as it comes. When I was playing 25, 26 years ago, I had no idea, or no ambitions to play in St. David's Hall or the Royal Albert Hall, but that's where my life has taken me. Yeah. And if it goes back the other way, I can still remember how to set up the PA.
Well, it's always a good experience, yeah. I mean, you're the sum total of the experiences you've had up until now. I mean, you wouldn't be writing the songs you are if you hadn't gone through all that, would you?
Absolutely not, no.
What about coming to Wales? Because the Welsh are just the Irish who couldn't swim, aren't they? do you get that sort of, I don't know, that welcome, that same sort of thing? I was talking to Ralph McTell about He Right, and I know a lot of Irish people have the same feeling about Ireland as the Welsh exiles do about Wales. I mean, is it the same type of feeling in Wales as in Ireland?
Well, I think so. I mean, I think we are a home-loving people. And I feel very much at ease being in Wales or being with Welsh people wherever I meet them. But I love the island. You know, I don't exaggerate when I say that if I go to London for a day, I get a lump in my throat when the plane lands in Dublin. Really? You know, I just love Ireland, and I think we're very fortunate, the Irish and the Welsh, that we do have this great love of our country. You know, and I think it's one of the reasons I think why we travel so well. We bring a very strong identity with us.
You're very much in touch with the political aspects that are happening in Ireland as well. Are you hopeful for the future of Ireland?
Well, I think we have to be hopeful for the future of the earth, of the future of the human race, the future of wherever we come from. I mean, if we haven't got hope, then we're going into a blackness. You know, we must have hope.
So the songs then, I mean, you're still touring after how many years? 20?
Well, I started playing professionally in 1966.
Wow.
But I went on stage as a very young lad in the choirs, and I used to do the halls at home as a little boy soprano.
So what does the future hold then? Is it just keeping on doing what keeps you happy and just going out and singing the songs?
Well, I love doing this. I mean, I think we're very privileged, those of us who love our work. I mean, I certainly hope I never have to retire. I hope I can continue to sing until they put me in the box. You know, and even then I might manage to sing a few songs.
And the thing is, as you say, if it wasn't St. David's Hall next week, if it was just going back to a pub in Ireland, because, I mean, I've travelled around as well, and if you've got a guitar, you're actually accepted anywhere, aren't you?
Absolutely, yeah. It can be a problem, though, you know.
Give us a song, Christy.
You want a song?
No, not now. Crack on with it. Great, well, my guest for the evening, Christy Moore. Great. Thanks very much. It's time for us to take a break now. We'll be back with Suzanne Vega in London and Chris Duffy singing live with the studio band. Back in a moment.